Hello students, welcome back to LFI Educates. So in this video, we're going to start with another unit, that is Unit 3, Language and Communication. So let's begin. We are going to start with newspaper articles. So in order to understand what newspaper article is all about, let's have a quick glimpse at what an article and newspaper is. So the first one, article. Article is a non-fictional prose forming an independent part of a publication. So it is a piece of writing that is published in a newspaper or magazine. Newspaper. We all know what newspaper is. So newspaper is a publication consisting of a number of large sheets of folded paper on which news, advertisements, and other information is printed. Here are the types of newspaper articles. The first one, news reports. So these reports, these articles, or this piece of writing are found at the front of newspaper. The next one, feature articles. So this type of articles, it explores the issues raised by news stories in more deeper or in a more detailed way. The next one is editorials, columns, and opinion piece. So these are pieces by personality writers, often celebrities in other fields. A typical newspaper article contains 5 parts. The first one is headline. So this is a short attention-getting statement about the event. And after the headline is given, byline. So this tells who wrote the story. The next one is lead paragraph. So in this lead paragraph, it has all of who, what, where, when, why, and how in it. After that comes the explanation. So in this, the writer must make sure that he or she has enough information to answer any important questions a reader might have after reading the headline and the lead paragraph. So this section also includes direct quotes from eyewitness or bystanders. And finally, additional information. So this information is least important and it can include about a similar events. Now let's look at informative writing. So informative writing, it is a type of non-fiction writing that conveys information about something, which means it is factual. It writes something based on facts. Examples of informative text can be found in newspapers, almanacs, and reference books. It educates readers on a certain topics. And also it compares and contrasts something. It analyzes data and provide a how-to. And this informative writing, they do not, however, present an opinion or try to persuade a reader. Next one is argumentative writing. So argumentative writing, it requires the writer to investigate a topic, collect, generate, and evaluate evidence, and establish a position on the topic in a brief manner. Its purpose is to persuade the reader to agree with the argument being made. Now, a good argumentative writing will use facts and evidence to support the argument rather than just the author's thoughts and opinions. So it presents arguments about both sides of an issue. Letter writing to the editors of newspapers or magazines. So why write letter to the editors? Writing letter to the editor of a newspaper or magazine, it's an important part as such letters, it voice the opinion of the people. It can also raise issues of issues of social or political and economic understanding, and it generally focuses around public reactions. They provide a platform to the readers to express their strong feelings and reactions to different issues, be it political, economic, or social issues. So when writing letter to the editor of any newspaper, you can follow this format. You can please have a look at it. We are going to look at grammar now. Phrasal verb. So what is a phrasal verb? A phrasal verb is a verb that is made up of a main verb together with an adverb or a preposition or both. Example, ask. So that is a verb. Around, that is a preposition. So if we put it into a sentence, I asked around but nobody had seen my kitten. So ask around, that is called phrasal verb. More examples, let's look at more examples. Break in, meaning to force entry to a building. So if we put it into a sentence, somebody broke in last night and stole my diamond ring. Next example, clean up, meaning to tidy or to clean. So if we put it into a sentence, please clean up your room before you go outside. The next example, come from, meaning originate. So if we put it into a sentence, the art of origami comes from Asia. So comes from, that is a phrasal verb. More examples of phrasal verbs are given here. I hope this will help you in understanding it better. Here are some examples of speech verbs. So these are some few examples. There are many more. I'll suggest that you search or think of more speech verbs and do your homework. What is a web article? Now we know that article, it is a story that is written about a single subject. A website is a technology framework for presenting content such as articles and videos to internet users. So web articles are those articles which are published on the websites. We have already discussed what an informative and argumentative writing is. So next one is discursive writing. So what is discursive writing? Discursive writing is when a controversial topic is explored in an unbiased or fair and balanced manner. So you must provoke or trigger the thought in the reader and get them to consider their opinions based on the points you present. A good discursive essay should consist of an introductory paragraph in which you clearly state the topic, a main body in which points are clearly stated in separate paragraph and exemplified or justified, and finally a concluding paragraph summarizing the main points of the essay or your writing and in which you state your opinions and give a balanced consideration of the topic. What is a blog? A blog is an online journal or informational website displaying information in the reverse chronological order. So it is a platform where a writer or a group of writers share their views or opinions on an individual subject. It is typically written in an informal or conversational style. In a blog, posts are typically displayed in reverse chronological order so that the most recent post appears first at the top of the web page. Many blogs provide commentary on a particular subject or topic ranging from politics to sports. A typical blog, it combines text, digital images, and links to other blogs. Next up, we're going to look at discourse markers. So what are discourse markers? A discourse marker is a word or phrase that plays a role in managing the flow and structure of discourse. So the initial word or phrase in a sentence can signal whether the argument is continuing in the same direction or switching to present the opposite viewpoints. Example, however, although, nevertheless. So these are some few examples of discourse markers. Adverbials. So adverbials, these are also part of discourse markers. Adverbials are words that are used to give more information about the verb. They can be one word or phrase. Linking adverbials typically modify verbs or clauses, but they can also be used as linking devices to connect clauses to the content of the preceding text. So, example of affirming adverbials are given here. Furthermore, what is more, moreover, consequently, in addition, therefore, similarly, as a result, and so on. Refuting adverbials here are the examples. However, nevertheless, nonetheless, on the other hand, on the contrary, instead, and so on. What is a sonnet? A sonnet is a 14-line poem with a fixed rhyme scheme and is written in iambic pentameter. Now, iambic consists of one unstressed and stressed syllable. So, for example, purple, it consists of two syllables. Per is unstressed and pearl is stressed. So here, 5 feet per line is called iambic pentameter. Now, a sonnet is divided into 3 quatrains. One quatrain consists of 4 lines and a couplet. So the last 2 lines of a sonnet is called a couplet. What are nonsense sonnet? So as the name suggests, nonsense sonnet are poems about nonsense. Nonsense poems don't always make sense. They often use made-up words and mixed with real words. Usually, it employs strong prosodic elements like rhythm and rhyme. It is whimsical or unusual and humorous in tone, and it employs some of the techniques of nonsense literature. So that is something about nonsense sonnet. Now if you go to page 39 of your Cambridge English coursebook, you will see a poem there in text 3F. How can the purple yeti be so red? Now if you go through the poem, you will see that it is a nonsense sonnet. It doesn't make sense at all. But looking at the structure, it has a 4-line quatrain. So the first quatrain, it ends with alternate rhyming words, A, B, A, B. Just look at the first 4 lines of this poem. The last word of each line. Red, it rhymed with bad. And then grown, it rhymed with bone. So here, the first quatrain, the rhyming scheme here is A, B, A, B. Now looking at the second quatrain, it has the same rhyme scheme but with different rhyming words. So the second quatrain has, if we look at the last words, March, it rhymed with large. And then fig, it rhymed with weak. So the rhyme scheme here is CD, CD. So just like that, even the third quatrain, the rhyme scheme is EF, EF. Now the final 2 lines in it is a rhyming couplet, GG, turn and earn. So that is the rhyming, the rhyming couplet. With that, I will be winding up this chapter. So I hope you have learned something through this. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, take care and stay safe.